Hi. uh, do you know what a proverb is? Have you heard of the word proverb? A proverb is also known as a saying. A proverb gives some form of life advice, and every language and culture has it. Many proverbs exist in more than one language, but it is important not to miss any of the words in most proverbs because the meaning can be lost if even one word is changed or left out. Let's see. Here's a couple of examples of a proverb or a saying. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. You've heard that one, right? Being away from someone or something for a period of time makes you appreciate that person or thing more when you see them or it again. Action speaks louder than words, which is true. What you do is more important than what you say. As in, don't just tell me you're going to change. Do it. Actions speak louder than words. And then the other one, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Which is, you must begin something if you hope to finish it. Something that takes a long time to finish begins with the first step. Like if you want to lose weight, you need to stop eating junk food and you need to start exercising today, not tomorrow. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. There's a proverb that I like, especially a proverb from scripture, and I'm sure it's a proverb that you might even recognize. It's from the book of Proverbs. Imagine that, a whole collection of proverbs, a whole collection of sayings that impact our lives in a positive manner. Today I'm going to share with you Proverbs 23 verse 7. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Welcome to today's Testimonial Tuesday. My name is Kimble Rogers. So, in my office, I have a post-it note that is stuck on my monitor, my computer monitor, with this question: what will people remember about you once you're gone? It's a subtle yet simple reminder that life is short. Well, especially this life is short. So I need this reminder every single day because time is precious. It doesn't offer a reset button or do-overs. And I suppose this is good if time operated like an Xbox or a PlayStation. I don't think any of us would get serious about much of anything because Xbox and PlayStation is for playing games, right? Speaking of time, did you know that you have about 78 years of it, or if you prefer, 936 months? 78 years is a decent amount of time, I guess, unless, of course, you're 77. If you break down your years, however, the window for living out your purpose and making the most of your life closes considerably. So, just for giggles, I'm going to throw out a few numbers, okay? Is that cool? Okay. You spend 25 years sleeping and another 10.3 years working. No real shockers there, but wait, there's more. On average, you spend about 3.5 years eating and 2 years in work meetings. You spend about 1.5 years in the bathroom, said no man ever, and 92 days on the toilet, said no man ever. Women spend about 8 years shopping and 1 year deciding what to wear. Meanwhile, men spend 1 year staring at women, firmly cementing, all men as creepy. And for the big finale, the most striking statistic of all is you awake around 53 years, and the average person spends about 70% of them in front of digital media. A lot to digest, I know, but here's the point. If you and I plan to make this life count, we better get on with it because our days are numbered. They are also sacred. They are divine gifts from God. How we steward them really matters. Paul says it in this way in Ephesians chapter 5 verse 15 and 16. He says, be careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity. Undoubtedly, you know somebody who wasted their life. It's beyond unfortunate to watch somebody with crazy gifts and talent who can't get out of their own way. But what about you? Are you wasting your life? Are you fully engaged with your God-given purpose? Those in the former group need to know that it's never too late to live with meaning. And for those in the latter group, people who waste their lives, they share some commonalities. I want to share some of those with you, okay? Here's a few ways that we actually waste our life. Number one, distract yourself with good things. I fear this will be my generation's epitaph. This will be on their tombstone. Here lies a promising generation who never realized its potential because they busied themselves with many good things at the expense of their one thing. In fact, I have another post-it note on my monitor that says, "What did you do today that scared you?" Why such a note? Well, your God-given purpose will scare you. It will stretch and push you far beyond your comfort zone. It will ask more from you than you have to give. That's because your path is bigger than you. If you don't need God's help to make it happen, it's probably not your one thing. Discomfort and the unknown aren't exactly buzzwords. So how can we avoid this path and clear your conscience? Well, by busying yourself with good things, a lot of them. Volunteer at your place of worship, join a small group, support your family, go on a mission trip, or do something right. Not necessarily your one thing, but only you know whether or not you are using good things to avoid engaging your one thing. Number two, avoid what's right in front of you. So you're not sure about your one thing. Thankfully, that's not a simple game of hide and seek. Your one thing is actually right in front of you, always. I hate hearing that though. It means that you can't check out of this moment. It means reminiscing about the last thing or holding out for the next thing is all but useless in God's economy. Make no mistake, you will waste your life if you avoid what's in front of you. Maybe you're not where you're supposed to be because you are created for more. I believe you. But God has you where you are for a reason. And your obedience to the present moment determines the legacy that you're going to leave. 3, often tell yourself you don't have enough time. You know who doesn't have enough time? Everyone who says so. Because we are all on borrowed time. You're not the only one. Cursing the clock doesn't change this reality because time shows no partiality. You can't be manipulating or bribing when it comes to time. Fear or not, it gives every human being the same thing. 24 hours. You choose what to do with it. And another thing, I hate it when people say, today flew so fast. Today it was such a slow day. There's nothing like that. Because when you calculate it, it's 24 hours. Not 24.30 minutes or whatever. Okay? You get what I'm saying? The month flew fast. It didn't fly fast. It didn't fly fast. Sorry, I digress. Anyway, don't forget you serve a God that is outside of time. It can take a few years and make them last a few centuries or more. Think about people like Moses or King David or Mary, Jesus, Paul, and in more recent years, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa. All of them are years removed from our current society. They're late, yet their lives continue to shape the world. The number of your days doesn't determine the breadth of your impact. The number of your days does not determine the breadth of your impact. You have just enough time to fulfill God's purpose for your life, so it's best that you get to doing it, okay? Number 4, talk about what you should do, but never actually do it. If you want a fast and quick way to waste your life, tell everyone what you're going to be doing. Talk about that mission trip that you're going to take. Tell everyone about that co-worker who doesn't know Jesus. Tell yourself that you are going to do whatever it takes to beat that addiction. Tell everyone what's wrong with the world. Draw up a nice battle plan, make it look good, use a computer program to straighten up the lines and make the plans clear and coherent, and then don't do anything about it. A meaningful life has a strong bias towards action. Number 5, watch a lot of TV. Yep, that's another way to waste your life. I didn't mention this earlier, but the average person spends about 9 years watching TV and another 2 years watching adverts, commercials. That's 11 years in front of a TV. Listen, I'm not against TV or even Netflix for that matter, because how else am I going to be able to feed my the Falcon and the Winter Soldier addiction? Huh? So let me say this directly. Those who spend 11 years in front of the TV are wasting their lives. Once you find something to give yourself to, something that continually lives after you stop breathing, you don't have time for much binge watching or vegging out in front of the TV, like a vegetable, like a couch, potato, vegetable. 6, believe certain narratives about yourself. Okay, let's get this straight. The brain is a story-forming machine. It takes experiences, draws conclusions and judgments about them, and then pieces them together in a very nice, coherent narrative. Some of these are helpful, some not so much, but you must be the final editor. Thoughts aren't necessarily facts, and you must decide which narratives frame your worldview. You see, behind almost every wasted life is a plethora of negative storylines. I'm not good, I'm not smart enough, I will always be overweight, I will never overcome this, and so on. To make the most of your life, you must control all the inner chatterbox and get them working for and not against you. You can't silence the inner chatterbox, but you actually shouldn't. You must have a serious conversation with it if you haven't already. You don't need to say much. Only let your inner voice know that you are calling the shots now. Yes, your mind is free to share the thoughts, but you're the head honcho. Numero uno, number 1. And you will decide which thoughts are wise and which are truth and which are lies and which you're going to use to service you. And then direct the inner chatterbox to the back seat and kindly ask it to fasten its seatbelt. You know what I'm saying? Another way we waste our lives is number 7, waiting for permission. If you sit around waiting for a permission slip or a board to validate your purpose, you will waste your life. God signed off on your permission slip the moment He placed you on this earth. All you need is faith in yourself, yes, but more importantly, in your Creator and His working through you. Your voice matters. You have something to give the world, something no one else can give. And we all need your contribution. So step out in faith and give it to us. God placed you here for a reason. As long as you have breath in your lungs, you can make a difference in this world. Get busy making something of your life. And I'm your cheerleader. I'm cheering you on because it's your life. Make it a good one.